light 'em up in the ring. Light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up in the ring. Light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up, go dumb, go stupid. Yeah, we undefeated. Sucker free, we got the seats heated. Let's face it, you about to get a beat down. Less talking, let's take it to the streets now. Ain't gonna be no rematch, why you wanna fight? Touchdown on sight, yeah. Turn off the light, oh, turn off the light, let's get it poppin'. Go dumb. When you see me moving, bodies dropping. Move some. I'm about to go sick, call Earl. I'm turning up like E40, not your average girl. I'm turning up. We can rock like Rocky, make you tap it. Ghost ride the whip, look at my drip. This ain't a copy. We got a night if you wanna throw hands. When they see me fight, they wanna throw bands. Go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated. Sucker free, we got the seats heated. Light 'em up in the ring. Light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up in the ring. Light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up.
It's time for the main event. It's the Shoe Shine.
¿Qué onda, vatos locos? Damas y caballeros, it's your boy Dave in the 702 coming at you for a special big fight weekend edition of the Shoe Shine. Joining me all the way from the city of brotherly love, Philly Irish. Great to have you, Drew Evo. ¿Qué pasa, homie?
Ah, shit.
Uh-oh, we starting like this? Great to see SB in the chat. Shout out to 702 Man Cave. It's a big fight weekend, Drew, and the weather out here in Las Vegas has got me gloomy. I know you've been dealing with a lot of snow. Shout out to everybody on the East Coast, a lot of cold weather. But it's been like a really nice winter in Las Vegas, and I started thinking that means it's going to be a really hot summer. But if you want to know what Las Vegas looks like, guys, all my furniture and my lawn furniture is I don't know, it flew off. It's in my neighbor's yard. I remember one year, Drew, the winds were so bad, they're like 50 miles per hour, that my I had like an inflatable pool thing, you know, and it flew away, and the next day it was back in my yard. So I think one of my neighbors, either it flew into my neighbor's yard, or my neighbor walked over and just flung it over, or maybe the winds magically blew it back. I don't know, but shout out to everybody joining us. Drew, how are you doing?
I'm all right.
It's been rough, guys. I appreciate everybody that has been a regular that watches our shows. If you're watching the show on replay, just a quick update. I think I got together with Vince and did a show last week, but the truth is, so I had this eye surgery last Monday, Drew. Remember, if you guys don't know, I had cataract surgery in my other eye now, right? I did this preemptively because I was getting cataract surgery. I had to pay for it out of pocket. Drew, it's not healing. I went to the doctor today, and they say everything looks great. But they also told me my eye would look like a nightmare for, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks. I'm going to see if you guys can see it. It's this eye here. Can you see the top of that? It's like all black. I mean, I know, to me, it looks embarrassing. The whole upper part of my left eye is covered in blood. It's embarrassing. And this is a big fight week, Drew. Normally, I'm excited to go out and try to get interviews and hang out with media people and try to do the thing that, you know, like what we were supposed to do. But I have no ambition to leave the house, man. I feel like a freak, guys. I feel like a freak. Yeah, I can wear the sunglasses like I always do, but it just don't feel right. Not only that, Drew, I'm sensitive to light, man. Like looking at this computer screen, it's good I'm wearing these sunglasses right now because it gives me a headache. TV, I'll get over it, guys. The great thing is, shout out AC Walker, is Drew, I can see better than 2020 already. My life has changed. I see better than 2020 already, even though my eye looks a hot mess. Shout out to Chicano Prophet. I appreciate you guys. I know that YouTube was down today, Drew. Did you know that?
Yeah, it said something went wrong.
Yeah. YouTube was down for a while. It was tripping out on the TV, and I had already made the thumbnail. I was like, ooh, is that going to impact us? But I'm glad to see that people are here, and I just want to thank you guys all for supporting our channel through all these years and all these good times and bad times. I appreciate that sincerely from the bottom of my heart. Again, big fight week, Drew, and I'm not excited. Why am I not excited? Look, the ticket sales aren't that great for this T-Mobile event. It's not a PBC event, so none of the events I'm used to that I know of are going to be at MGM Grand. If anybody knows if they're going to be at MGM Grand tomorrow doing open workouts, let me know. I know it's a turkey thing. It's a Ring Magazine fight card. So everything just seems kind of off. It's cold. It's going to be cold in Vegas, guys. It's going to drop to 36 degrees at night tomorrow. All through Friday, it's going to be 36 degrees in the night. That's cold.
You don't feel my pain.
Man Cave says, next time your wife tells you to throw out the trash, throw it out. It's all good. I used to hate throwing out my trash in California, Vince, because I had to go outside the house and around. But the trash cans are in my garage now, man. It's easy. I love it, Drew. So I'm not excited, but are you excited about Pig Fight Weekend?
Fuck no.
Oh man, some energy, yeah, some boxing show.
Yeah.
Were you excited about Zuffa 3 on Sunday night?
Not really. Not really.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, but the thing, I'm not. How can you be excited for boxing anymore? I'm sorry, but how can you be excited for boxing anymore? It's turned into a bunch of fucking jokes. It's like going to a stand-up comedy show. That fucking it's fucking horrible. It's like seriously. I rather watch Speech Impediment Man go do stand-up in this shit.
Oh, that's a good joke. He's not here though. Shout out to yeah.
But at the end of the fucking day, I'm gonna look at it like this. We got Ryan Garcia. Ryan, I got my ass handed to me by Roy Romero. Easily Garcia versus Space Mountain Barrios.
Yeah, indeed. Look, Ryan is kind of a superstar, social media superstar, regardless of the fact that he just lost to Rolando Romero. I think he lost 11 of the 12 rounds, including the knockdown. In his biggest fights, he's come up short, with the exception of the Devin Haney fight where he looked like an animal. He looked like a beast. And then Devin Haney goes on after that loss to look, he fought Ramirez from Fresno. He looked okay. He didn't look that great. But he
looked like shit.
Yeah, in his very next fight, he looks like they're talking about Bill Haney saying he's a Hall of Fame type fighter. So I really don't know what to make of the 147-pound division. You got guys that started their careers at 135, including Raleigh, started at 135, Ryan Garcia, Mario Barrios, the WBC champion, who's going to be defending his title. He started at 140. Welterweight is kind of a division where, you got some big names, but they're just kind of hanging out there because either they don't want to fight at 140 anymore, where all the talent is, or they don't want to go up to 154 where all the studs are at. So, it's a lackluster division, which is probably why I'm not that excited. But I know you got a bone to pick with the WBC, as a lot of boxing fans do. If you don't know, the World Boxing Council is out of Mexico. They're one of the sanctioning bodies that gives the belts. It is the belt that Mario Barrios has. It is the belt that if Ryan Garcia wins, he's the new WBC welterweight champion, a kind of a prestigious belt. But Drew, I know you have a bone to pick with them. First and foremost, let's start with the most recent issue is that Shakur Stevenson, who looked incredible just a few weeks ago, winning a title at 140, he was stripped of his title at 135, but everybody else seems to catch a break. Everybody else gets exceptions, whether it's Canelo, whether it's Ryan Garcia, who doesn't deserve a title shot at all, coming off a loss. Shakur gets stripped. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that?
Say the reason why, Dave.
Well, if I'm correct, guys, he said Mauricio Suleiman said that Shakur did not pay the $350,000 fee that he was expected to get paid for. I guess immediately after that fight, he wants $350K for the old belt at 135, and I guess he's going to want some money for the new belt, right, at 140.
They didn't even fight for a WBC belt at 140. They fought for a WBO belt.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, how misinformed I am.
Okay. I'm put it to you straight. Shakur Stevenson was stripped of his title because he refused to pay $100,000 to the WBC. And why should he pay $100,000 to you when your belt isn't even on the line? He went up. There's no mandatory challenger at 135. for the WBC. You have not mandated a challenger for Shakur Stevenson. So technically, he's allowed to move up and fight for another title if he chooses to. You have nothing to do with that fight. You have no business getting money out of that fight, and you stripped him of it. And that's the more corruption. You try to take money out the person. You don't have nothing to do with the fight. And no, let me put up some cases here. And everybody, let me know if I'm right, completely wrong, somewhat wrong, and everything. I'm gonna put up some stuff that the WBC has done in the past that makes them corrupt. So the first thing I'm gonna do is bring up Deontay Wilder.
You're going way back.
Deontay Wilder was the WBC heavyweight champion. Dillian Wright was the mandatory challenger. He was actually named the mandatory by the WBC, but was not awarded a title match because the WBC allowed voluntary defenses multiple in a row. Dillian Wright was the mandatory challenger for an interim light heavyweight champion at WBC for 2 years, and they gave guys shots that weren't even in the top 15. Some of them weren't in the top 15, and like Dominic Brazil, Suka, and then let's go to the other thing. Canelo Alvarez. David Benavidez was his mandatory. Was the interim WBC super middleweight champion, and Suamov never mandated the fight. Allowed shit to go down, made David defend an interim title, and then still don't give him a title shot. Now, David Benavidez, awarded the title at light heavyweight because they stripped Demetrius Bivol. Here's another thing. When the Ukrainian and Russian war first started, the WBC said no Russian will be able to fight for our titles. That stopped Undisputed from happening for a couple years. And they allowed Arthur Beterbiev to remain champion, even though he was Russian, but he lived in Canada. But there was no, they didn't allow Bivol to fight for it because, hey, he lives in Russia. He's technically not Russian. So that corruption happened, and you can't blame the fighters that what their countries do. And what happens when these other countries had issues and you didn't do that same thing to them? So you decide to give Jamal Charlo. He went on to say, yo, I kept him as champ. Let him hold the title. He hasn't fought in 2 years. They let him hold the title. Didn't strip him. Try to say that, he was in a mental breakdown and everything. He said, the only thing that's keeping me around is being WBC champion, and he held the title. Okay, I understand that type of point, but you should have made him a champion in recess. That's what you should have did. And then now it goes around that you haven't allowed champions. You allow champions not to fight their mandatories.
Mm-hmm.
And certain ones. But when it comes to like next one, Terrence Crawford,
Mm-hmm.
you stripped him of it because he refused to pay your $300,000 sanctioning fee. And you're gonna say, "Oh, he was never." You're saying, "Oh, this." Terrence Crawford said, "I'm not paying. I'm not. I'm vacating the belt. I don't want to be champion. I don't want to be your champion." And then you try to, and then just do that, because here's the other part. How long does a champion? He was real. The only reason why Terrence Crawford said, "I shouldn't be paying $300,000." Technically, the sanctioning fees is $100,000, and they try to say, "Oh no, it's like 3% of your purse and everything," but you charging Canelo $300,000, and he made almost $100 million more than me.
Well, that's a valid point, Drew. You know, I had a conversation with a good friend who, and they were bringing up the point that some fighters that are really savvy, who have really good, well-known promoters, are asking the promoters that if you want me to fight for that belt, they're putting in it. They're going to start putting it into the contract that the promoter. See, I fight for X promoter, and you want me to be your world champion. If I win that world championship, you should cover that sanctioning fee because I'm bringing that prestigious belt to your promoter organization. I think that's a very savvy way of handling this business. The thing is that Terrence Crawford is now an independent contractor. He's been without a promoter. He left Top Rank a long time ago. Shakur also is kind of freelancing. Devin Haney went freelance. So they're a separate autonomous entity, right? They're their own thing. Canelo Alvarez Promotions. Everybody should get the same fee structure. But if you are getting paid $30 million, that would mean, how much would Canelo's belt be? Jeez, it'd be...
Let's say if he's getting paid $30 million, his belt fee will only be like $100,000.
90 something, right? 3%?
Yeah, $90,000.
So I don't get these exorbitant fees they're charging Shakur. It doesn't make sense. It just screams of favoritism repeatedly, over and over.
When he, and that's another thing, he's not fighting for your belt. Your belt's not even on the line. Your sanctioning body has nothing to do with this fight, and you're trying to get money off of him for this purse. No, that's illegal.
Well, I appreciate that, SB. Hit that like, guys. Drew, you know, Zuffa 03, the third episode, the third installment happened this Sunday night. And shortly thereafter, a former featherweight champion, Filipino Mark Magsayo, he signed. So now they've got people that are, aside from Rayo Valenzuela, they've got legitimate ex-world champions now over at Zuffa. And I'm wondering if the appeal to work with Dana White, where, you know, they're not going to have to pay to be the Zuffa champion. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a pretty big deal. Like, these are former world champions, really good boxers, both Rayo Valenzuela and Mark Magsayo. You don't have to pay over there. Like, is that attracting talent? It's got to be.
It is, but it's not because of the pay structure is going to be a killer. It's just a horrible pay structure. They got to pay their guys better.
And if we get the honor to talk to somebody, you can't dive deep into that unless I want to be blacklisted from all UFC events in the future, or being blacklisted as a reporter covering Zuffa. You can't really be a reporter. You can't ask about pay structure, even though I hope it's transparent. But for some fighters, it's going to work out. For some fighters, is probably not.
Now, here's the thing. Those fighters can still fight guys that are in the sanctioning body rankings.
For now.
Yeah, for now. But the thing about it is, if they're still in those rankings and they're being offered title shots at making more money, you can't hold it against them to take the money, to take the payday.
I hear you, man.
And what are you going to do? Oh, we're going to stop. You're going to end your contract. End my contract. You can't prevent me from making money.
Man, we're going to talk about the Vergil Ortiz situation because obviously, if you unless you guys religiously look for updates, the Vergil Ortiz, Boots Ennis, and Oscar De La Hoya situation is reached a fever pitch with lawsuits. I'm going to get to that shortly, Drew. But Ryan Garcia, look, okay, Mario Barrios is the champion, but all the press seems to be in Ryan Garcia. He's on all the shows. Let me play a clip because I'm shocked. Okay, now that Shakur is the 140-pound lineal champ, I would think that the first top of the list for Ryan Garcia, if he wins, would be a rematch with Devin Haney. But both Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia seem to be wanting to go in completely opposite directions. Devin Haney's talking about moving up. He's talking about Xander Zayas. And Ryan Garcia is potentially talking about coming down to some catch weight. Let's play a clip because Shakur Stevenson is the target that Ryan Garcia wants. Let me adjust this here, guys, a little bit and hit play on this.
I'm not trying to look too far ahead, but I'm really interested in the Shakur fight. It just it gets me going, and those are the type of fights that you'll see the best out of me. So definitely he's somebody I want to, I want to look into after this fight for sure.
After you get this fight over,
Okay, whether he wins or loses, a lot of other clips I wanted to play, but let me play Shakur's response. Let's play Shakur's response. And then I'll ask you.
It'll be a lot of excitement to that fight. It's a big money fight. Ryan Garcia is somebody that comes in there. You never know which version of him is going to show up. So if the good version of him show up, he gets spanked. If the bad version of him show up, he gets spanked. He don't stand a chance. It'll be a lot of excitement to that.
That's pretty funny, actually. He's saying something that's really, he's being honest. We don't ever know. The consistency with Ryan Garcia always seems to be an issue. In the fight with Devin Haney, he was acting like he was mentally unstable through the entire press conference buildup, and you actually saw one of the strongest, well, considering the Osterine, but you saw one of the best versions of Ryan Garcia in that fight. And I thought he was, watching him build up into that fight, I thought, man, he is not focused. He is mentally all over the place. There's no way he's beating Devin Haney. And then he did what we all saw against Devin Haney. Also, in other fights where he looks like he's off his rockers, he's performed rather incredible. And in other fights, you saw what happened against Tank Davis. You saw what happened against Rolly Romero just a few months back, the inconsistency is always there. Shakur says no matter what version of him, if they fight each other, he's going to outclass him. Your thoughts on the potential matchup between Shakur and Ryan Garcia?
It's too easy.
Too easy?
Too easy. And that, how the fuck you get a WBC title shot, Ryan? Yeah, I think it's a lot of
he's a star.
Corruption, favoritism, and everything. I think, and I'm glad Chris Maddox was the one that actually called him out on shit, Sumo, and I think Sumo for like, let's look at it like this. Don't say it's a case. And he is put out. Your reply is it's a case by case basis. No, Sumo, I'm gonna tell you this right now. You're bad for boxing. Your sanctioning body is bad for boxing. If I had a T-shirt of the WBC, I would bought it live. And everything. If I had a WBC title, I would break it on live here. I would do it just to fucking disrespect the WBC. I don't get and Dave knows I'll do it. Dave, I'll even do worse. I'll probably piss on the fucking T-shirt and everything. Dave knows I'll do it too, and everything. I'll tag the motherfucker. I'll tag the fucking cocksucker in, and on Twitter. His I fucking pissed on your fucking shirt.
Oh, damn. I'm going to pull up the DraftKings boxing odds shortly. This fight is intriguing, guys. I don't know how it's going to sell, Drew. I really don't know. I think if I didn't look too much into what tickets are going for this Saturday, if they opened up the second level yet. But the thing that's most intriguing about this fight, the thing that's most intriguing to me, we have Bud Crawford. You didn't know? Come on.
No. We got. I gotta say this, Dave.
Yes, please.
Welcome back, dumb fuck nerd.
Oh, really? You think it's nerd?
Welcome back.
It's been a while. Whatever I did, I appreciate nerd in the building
He
if it's
changed his
nerd.
name- He changed his name
For now, it's
and everything.
Bud.
But no, it's not Bud. It's the guy above him. He changed his name because he didn't want nobody to know I'm back. But hey, I checked his face; it says nerd on there. So, dumb fuck, welcome back. Enjoy yourself. Have a seat. I still don't give a fuck what you say though.
Let's just entertain the idea that Terrence Crawford is a fan of the shoe shine. That's what I'm going to go with, and I'm going to channel that to make a great show.
Terrence Crawford is a fan of the shoe shine and everything.
Drew, Ryan Garcia, yeah. Ryan Garcia
has good taste.
Yeah, he does. Ryan Garcia is the favorite, -250. What's most important to recognize about this fight, guys, is that, Mario Barrios is coming off of 2 consecutive draws. He could not beat a 40-something-year-old Manny Pacquiao. He couldn't beat Abel Ramos, who is the uncle of Jesus Ramos Jr. Shout out to Jesus. He wasn't able to beat. That was an incredibly good fight. That was one of those fight of the year type contenders against Abel Ramos. He hasn't tasted victory, and yet he's held on to his title at welterweight. Ryan is coming off an embarrassing loss to local Las Vegas, Raleigh Rolando Romero. And Ryan is not with his previous coach. That is a big deal. Ryan's previous coach is now coaching Mario. And I have to think that Mario hired Joe Goosen because he wanted to know everything, all the inside information he could. He wanted to get all the intel on his opponent, Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia made a big deal out of it, calling him a traitor. Joe said it was just business. Don't be offended. You didn't call me. But look, Ryan's training with his dad, and he's kind of self-training himself. Something I heard Tyson Fury says, I'm going to train myself. I'm going to do it my way. Which reminds me of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. when he would train himself for all these big fights, man. Is this going to backfire on Ryan Garcia? I talked to Vince. Vince says, his dad got him here to this position. Sometimes we just saw how that worked out for Teofimo with his dad in his corner. Was this a bad idea for Ryan to bring himself into? It looks like he's going to make weight just fine. But was this a bad idea for Ryan Garcia not to go with a rather esteemed trainer like Derek James or somebody else?
If Ryan Garcia loses this fight, Ryan Garcia's career is over.
Man, I've been going back and forth. Here's the deal. I think that people that like Ryan Garcia is starting to stand up for a lot of things outside of the ring, right? Like what's going on with the Epstein case and the Epstein investigation. Clearly in the past, Ryan Garcia has mentioned that he personally was a victim of childhood abuse. And I take him for his word for it. He hasn't really spoken too much about it, but he's a strong proponent against the sick disease, the P word, the people that like child pizza. He's standing up for that. I feel like people would really just forgive and forget that Ryan Garcia just lost or got spanked in the ring. I feel his fans don't give a shit because they didn't care that Raleigh Romero beat him. They didn't care that Tank Davis beat him. They didn't care that he was caught by the New York State Athletic Commission to be on Osterine against Devin Haney. It's like he can get it. They didn't even care that he said some racist shit. They don't even care that racist stuff has come out of his mouth. He gets a pass.
Because they're racist.
We're in a weird time, Drew. We're in a weird time where just like some things just don't matter to people anymore. I feel like I'm an old soul. Things matter to me. Speaking of, I just want to. Cain Velasquez, San Jose, California. Shout out, guys. You guys know I lived in the 408 for many years. I was known as Dave from the 408. But the Cain Velasquez story touched close to me. He trained at AKA, famous heavyweight, first Chicano heavyweight champion of the world at UFC, who did what a lot of dads would do in that situation. When he found out that his son was being assaulted in daycare, he went after the perpetrator and shot at the wrong person, I believe, or bullets strayed and he hit somebody or he died. I don't remember the facts, man. I just know that they let him out, and he was greeted to a mariachi band, man. He was greeted by so many people, man. He's a hero to a lot of people because the people that are really about protecting the children are the ones getting locked up, and they're doing more time than the people hurting children. And I commend Ryan Garcia for speaking out on it. Do I commend all the other crazy stuff he said? No.
Fuck no.
No, but he's getting all the attention. I think people are going to forgive Ryan Garcia if he loses, and I won't be surprised. Look, he's saying in this interview that he'd like to fight Shakur Stevenson, and he's not talking about I need to win. He's saying whatever. Like, I want that to be my next fight. I think Shakur Stevenson, if the money is right, what we're hearing is that Turki Al-Sheikh wants that fight to happen, whether it's at a catch weight or not. It looks like that's the next fight. And it looks like Devin Haney is chasing another division, calling out Xander Zayas at 154. So I don't know if we'll ever get that rematch, man. Does it matter to you to see Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia next? Soon?
Well, really, I'll be honest, man. I think Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia are a bunch of circus acts.
Do you think it just ends with the same result every time that the fight happens?
I think he can't defend against a left hook.
But Vince, if you're listening, Vince, let me know, because he brought up a really good point to me. He said, look, the trauma that happens in sparring sessions, specifically in Las Vegas, like the crazy sparring sessions that used to happen at Floyd's gym at TMT. Ryan Garcia had been rocked by Rolly Romero in sparring pretty bad. The tapes are out there. You guys can go look for them. And he said that, that kind of trauma sticks with fighters sometimes. And sometimes it always stays in the back of your mind. It's PTSD. Like, if that dude catches me with that shot again, I'm just going to fall. I guess Ryan Garcia folded in that fight against Rolly Romero. You think Devin Haney folds if he gets caught with that left hook again by Ryan Garcia in a rematch? Mentally?
I don't think that rematch is ever going to happen, Dave. And
all right.
And the other thing is, man, I'm going to tell you somebody else that he's going to duck. He's going to duck Keyshawn Davis, Devin Haney. Devin Haney doesn't want nothing to do with Keyshawn Davis, knowing his son is going to get knocked out cold by him.
Yeah, I see a little bit of that too, man. And shout out to Keyshawn for looking fantastic at his debut at 140. And you're right, he is calling out Devin Haney, and Devin Haney's, it appears they're ignoring the call, and they're going in a different direction, potentially eyeing a fight with Xander Zayas. So, Drew, Ryan Garcia is the favorite here. Mario Barrios, a plus 195 underdog. I'll go for some more bets. Let me look quickly. But what are your thoughts on this fight, on the outcome?
If Ryan Garcia does not knock out Mario Barrios, it's an epic failure.
Mario Barrios by KO is a plus 700. Mario Barrios, obviously, guys, even at 140, not a very heavy-handed puncher. A pretty solid technical boxer. Mario Barrios by decision is a plus 330. Okay. A draw, plus 1,600. Nobody thinks it's going to be a... Ryan Garcia by knockout is a plus 125. Ryan Garcia by decision or technical decision, plus 230. What are you thinking? You just said if Mario Barrios... if Ryan doesn't get the knockout, it's an embarrassment?
Yeah.
Does he get the decision win if it goes the distance?
He probably will, but I think they're trying. I think they're trying to get that bet off Barrios regardless. But like, I really look at it like this: if there could be a potential that we could see a controversial decision.
I think the controversial decision would be here's my thoughts, guys. Mario Barrios is a pretty solid technical boxer. When he gets carried away and thinks he can exchange in the pocket, like fighting in the pocket against a heavy-handed puncher, he's probably going to come up short. And the irony is he's the much taller fighter. One thing about Mario, and he's a great guy, I met him in person, he's very tall. And he shouldn't give up that range. He should not give up that range and height fighting the shorter Ryan Garcia. Surprisingly, he's the taller fighter. At the perfect range, Mario Barrios could potentially outbox Ryan Garcia in the same way Raya Valenzuela outboxed Pitbull Cruz to win the title at 140 for a brief moment. He could outbox him. But I don't think Ryan Garcia is gonna. I think Ryan Garcia is gonna walk through the fire. He's not gonna respect Mario Barrios' punching power. and he's going to walk through the fire to get in that range where he can land that left hook. And everybody knows that Ryan Garcia left hook is a great equalizer, and it can really change the trajectory of the fight. He seems to have the power at 147, which means I think he would hurt Mario Barrios. So you're right, Drew. I think if Ryan Garcia fails to get the knockout, it could end up looking like Rolly Romero. Yeah, 702 Man says Rolly destroys Ryan 2 times in sparring. Rolly pitched a perfect boxing shutout against Ryan. It could happen.
Look at it like this. Ryan Garcia is a counterpuncher. And the way that he fights and
the Philly shell?
No, he stays in one spot, waits for you to throw, and see he can nail that left hook to you, to get a knockdown or something, to try to keep you honest. Barrios is gonna have to stay on the outside if he has a chance to win this fight.
He's gonna have to keep it mobile and work the entire ring, and we've seen him do it. I've seen him do it. Mario Barrios did have a very successful first 6 rounds against Gervonta Tank Davis when they fought. Mario Barrios has been in numerous pay-per-views, so he's not going to be – the bright lights aren't going to bother him. You can see, guys, in the whole press buildup, Mario Barrios is who he is. He's not a loud, boisterous guy. He's just always focused. Man, my thoughts are I just feel like Ryan Garcia is going to catch him with a dangerous shot, and I don't know how Mario is going to do, but don't be surprised if Mario does win this by decision, guys, or outboxes Ryan Garcia. We just don't know what version of Ryan Garcia we're ever going to get. So it makes it really, really hard. Drew, let's talk about the co-main. 2 really good fights on this. Other good fights. Richardson Hitchens, 140-pound champion against Oscar Duarte, who at one point was a very dangerous prospect contender, and then he fought Ryan Garcia and was stopped by Ryan Garcia. He's a pretty strong fighter, Drew. And Richardson Hitchens, I remember this guy had trouble with the Argentinian fighter named Lemos. He fought at the Fontainebleau. Hitchens fought Lemos. I think that was his name, from Argentina. He had a bad night at the office, man. In fact, I thought it was a pretty close fight. Oscar Duarte is that Mexican type of pressure fighter. I think that he could spoil Richardson Hitchens' clinical boxing that he's used to, man. Oscar Duarte is a dangerous, dangerous fight for Richardson Hitchens. I'm going to just say right here, I'm calling an upset on this one. Duarte is the plus 280. He could get embarrassed, but I think he's probably going to hurt Richardson at some point. What are your thoughts on this fight, man? Are you impressed with Hitchens? Is Hitchens Devin Haney light? Is he Shakur Stevenson light? Or is he not even in their league?
I think he loses Shakur Stevenson. But, I think he beats Forte. I think Forte is someone that's there to get hit. And I think he hits him enough. I think he beats him down. And we get a decision, but we get a clear decision win. 9-3, 10-2 type of shit.
You know, the irony about Duarte, guys, is that after that fight, Ryan Garcia said Duarte was the hardest puncher he faced. Ryan Garcia complimented Duarte, saying he was the hardest puncher, and said that dude hits like he's on steroids. And that was shortly before Ryan got busted on PEDs. He said that Oscar Duarte hits like he's on PEDs. So that's ironic right there. But we also got another 140-pound title fight, man. We got 2 champions in one night on the same card. Gary Antoine Russell, the brother of Gary Russell Jr., against Japanese fighter Andy Hiraoka. And maybe you guys know, but I swear Andy Hiraoka is mixed. He's black and Japanese, but raised in Japan. That's not. I think. If anybody knows, let me know in the comment section. So this fight looks very intriguing because Andy Hiraoka, he could punch, but I feel like the Russell brothers, like he's just a more polished fighter. He can do a little bit of everything, and this is a big moment for Andy Hiraoka, who is a very heavy-handed puncher. Drew, do you smell upset here, or you see a victory for the Russell brothers?
I see Antron winning.
It's this could be one of those fights, guys. Of all these, I think the better fights on this are actually going to be, could be the fight of the night is going to be Russell versus Hiraoka or Hitchens versus Oscar Duarte of Mexico. Not the main event. I don't think the main event is going to be as exciting as people are anticipating it to be. Because if there is a knockout finish, it might just come suddenly and quickly. Where these other two fights, I think, Drew, are going to be barn burners. They're gonna go potentially the distance, and they're going to go back and forth. Bekdabuli is in here against an older Sina Agbeko. At this point, Agbeko doesn't have much. If Bekdabuli wants to be a player at 168, he's got to get past an old name like Agbeko. He's on the card. Frank Martin trying to show that he's got something at 140. Nahir Albright, I believe, is a fighter who beat one of the Keyshawn brothers. They're also on the card. I mean, pretty solid card, guys. It's a whole day. Amari Jones is on the card against Luis Arias. He's a guy who I've seen many times on PBC. Do we also have this weekend? We got Lee Wood versus Josh Warrington too in the UK.
Oh man, that I didn't. I kind of didn't like the first fight. I don't want to see the next fight, the second fight.
Yeah, I think Josh Warrington, it's time for him. But, a lot of these UK fans, man, they go crazy to see two of their favorite fighters fight. So we got a lot of news, Drew. Let's move on to the big news of today. Despite what Oscar is saying, Oscar says he insists willingness to still assist in finalizing Vergil Ortiz versus Jerome Ennis, Philadelphia fighter. The big news, man, reported by Ring Magazine. Where did it go, man? An emergency injunction was done this week. Here it is. Let me go to Mike Coppinger. Is this Mike Coppinger? Vergil Ortiz, Jerome Ennis situation could be resolved this week, sources told the Ring. I don't think so. But anyways, the highly anticipated junior middleweight fight was all but set for April 18th in Las Vegas before a Nevada judge here in Las Vegas granted Ortiz's estranged promoter, Golden Boy, a temporary restraining order, also known as a TRO, Friday, that was last Friday, to halt the bout from proceeding. But an emergency hearing is set for this Friday, to determine if Matchroom Boxing, Ennis' promoter, can stage the fight without the permission of Golden Boy's involvement. This comes after Ortiz filed a lawsuit against Oscar De La Hoya on January 16th, requesting the judge to terminate his promotional agreement on the grounds that the contract is now invalid. So we have an emergency court hearing this Friday, and there is some big money involved, Drew. What did I just read, man? Matchroom Boxing was prepared to offer Vergil Ortiz. Are you ready for how much money? 3-fight deal by Matchroom. A deal that would include the April 18th fight against Jerome Ennis, worth between $12 million and $20 million. Golden Boy sent Matchroom a cease and desist letter on January 16. Another offer guaranteed Vergil $16 million plus upside for 3 fights. And Golden Boy says, we're still willing to make this fight happen. The gist of it is, Drew, and this is a really good point. In the contract, I saw it. I think I deleted that contract, the excerpt. But Rick Mariagon, his promoter, his manager from Fresno, California, and Vergil have a clause that if Oscar De La Hoya doesn't have a television rights deal, that their contract is null. It's nullified. If Oscar does not have a television deal with a major network, the contract is void. Oscar does not have a deal with DAZN. It's on a one-on-off basis at the moment. He does not have a solid television rights deal. And so Vergil took it upon himself to entertain the idea, or his team took it upon him to entertain these incredible offers from Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing, who do work with DAZN. They got that on lock. They got that contract on lock. It's worth a lot of money. What's going to happen Friday, Drew? What's your best guess?
I have a feeling that the court may favor an Oscar.
What's that?
I think they may favor an Oscar De La Hoya.
Really?
Because it's in Vegas.
He does live in Henderson.
And I look at it as in, hey, Here's the thing. If they show and prove it in paper that he has no network deal, then the contract is void. And they're going to and if there's clear evidence that it is, the court will have no choice but to award Vergil his release. And Golden Boy has nothing to do with it. Like, Eddie Hearn can say, hey, these guys are the sole purpose this fight's not happening. The one side said that he has a contract with them, but it's voided if he does not have a televised deal with. They don't have a televised deal with anybody. They don't. So the contract should be voided. But I think that now he's trying, we can still make the fight. No, you're trying to delay shit.
Man, DAZN wants this fight so bad. They're willing to, DAZN is stepping on the toes of Oscar. They want this fight to happen April 18th. Incidentally, Drew, I'm not a big wrestling fan, but I know you, Vince, and even Mario Mujia follow wrestling. April 18th, the WWE is scheduled to come to Las Vegas. Does that affect a boxing fight, the magnitude of there are boxing fans that attend wrestling events, and there are wrestling fans that are boxing fans. Is it a bad day? I mean, did they pick the wrong day if it does go through? What's April 18th?
I think it's like a Saturday.
No, but WWE, do you know what show it is? They said it's
WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania.
Oh my God, bro. They really going to try to, they really thinking about WrestleMania April 18th in Las Vegas and a boxing event the same. I mean, it's going to be lit. If they could pull it off, it's going to be lit in Vegas, man. You better book your rooms now, guys. If you plan on coming to this weekend, April 18th. It's WrestleMania?
Yep, 2 nights.
Is Turkey behind this fight? Is Turkey wanting to make this fight happen? Because I'm confused, man. Zuffa and WWE are under the same Nick Khan, right?
Yeah.
TKO, right?
Yep.
But TKO has no involvement with Eddie Hearn. This is an Eddie Hearn event. Okay. I don't know, man. Well, there'll definitely be a lot of people here to see sports, man. It's not a bad thing. Just my guess, man. I don't think the court rules. They probably do what they call a stay, and we're not gonna have any clarity, man. But it sucks to me. It sucks for Vergil and for Boots. This is the biggest fight that they can make financially. Not necessarily the best fight or not something with the most at stake, but a fight that a lot of people want to see. And I just feel like there's so many aspects of the business of boxing cock blocking. It sucks. It sucks, man. Well, there's some other crazy news. Speaking of Las Vegas, this was just added to the Fundora versus Keith Thurman card. I love this fight, Drew. It's about time Richard Torres Jr. fights somebody. He's fighting an older Cuban here. This fight was signed. This is, I believe, an IBF title eliminator. This is great. This puts both fighters in position to get a title opportunity rather quickly. Richard Torres Jr. taking on Cuban Frank Sanchez. You like that fight?
Yeah. But
Well,
I really think Sanchez wins this fight.
could be, man. But the thing about Torres is being a silver medalist, he's seen all these types of styles. And this is crazy because this is kind of like the Raymond Murataya Andy Cruz fight in reverse, where Raymond Murataya, see, he's not the Olympian. Andy Cruz was the Olympian. And in this fight, the Mexican dude is the Olympian for the U.S., right? He's Richard Torres Jr. is a silver medalist. And the other guy's Cuban. It just reminds me of that right now, that we have a really good kind of rivalry developing between Mexican-American fighters and Cuban fighters. Should be very, very interesting. So let's talk really quickly about some... Wow, you brought it up too, man. Keyshawn is chasing a fight with Haney. And speaking of Oakland, Devin Haney, he appeared, his dad, Bill Haney, appeared on All the Smokes. I got to check that out. I got to check out that interview because I think he said the new Devin Haney hit list today on Andre Ward's podcast. Check that out, guys. Let me know what you think of the hit list. So, Drew, there's a couple of things in combat sports world. One of them is obviously boxing. The other one is MMA. I got to get your opinion on this, but Netflix has really jumped off on the women combat sports, and I thought this was a joke, but it's not a joke. Ronda Rousey, MVP, that's right, Jake Paul, Gina Carano, who I haven't heard from her since she was an actress, since she converted into an actress. They're going to fight LA May 16th on Netflix, brought to you by Most Valuable Promotions. MMA on Netflix. Two former great legendary female combat sport. And now is Ronda still wrestling?
Nah.
She's not even wrestling?
She does independence, but I don't think anybody would be willing to sign her.
That's nuts. Man, that one really surprised me. So just as surprising as the fact, well, if you guys have been keeping up with the Floyd Mayweather news, they've written about him in numerous prestigious newspapers, Drew, about his financial woes. A lot of people have been suing Floyd, a lot of unpaid bills, a lot of unpaid jet repairs and jets and this and that. Everybody's suing Floyd for unpaid something. But Floyd launched his own lawsuit against Showtime. Steven Espinoza, who used to head Showtime, I think, was Al Heyman named in it, and he's seeking $340 million in damages. Floyd needs the money to pay back everybody he owes money to. At one time, he had problems with the IRS.
Yep.
He's coming back. I mean, he always knows how to make money. That's the thing. This is not a joke. But this is really potentially going to happen this summer, right?
In Greece.
59-year-old Mike Tyson versus 48-year-old Floyd Mayweather. Exhibition. I heard Africa. You heard Greece. I don't know exactly where, but this is promising to be the exhibition of the year between Iron Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. I think Mike is doing really good financially. He had his own share of problems at one point, but Floyd is trying to dig himself out of a very lavish lifestyle hole that he put himself in. How do you get excited about an exhibition?
You don't.
You don't. So, a lot of people have been proposing the question to Floyd, why are you chasing, Mike, when Terrence Crawford just announced his retirement, and you guys could have the dream exhibition, because their fight never materialized. Crawford was never even brought up in the conversation to fight against Mayweather, even though they were both active at the same time. If you could see an exhibition, would you be interested in seeing Floyd versus Terrence?
Maybe.
Oh, this is the other one. Drew, I'm sorry, man. Saturday, June 27th. This is the one you were talking about, Iron Mike Zambides in Greece or something like that, right? Yeah, this was the original one. And now they're talking about it being Mike Tyson. I appreciate SB hanging with us for the entire show. That was great. 702 Man Cave, Pacquiao versus Provodnikov, April 18th. That's crazy. But Manny Pacquiao's now a promoter, guys, and May 28th, he's staging, his son will be on there. You got Carmel Moten, and you got a fighter that I promised that I was going to get back to the ring. We got to see if we're going to go see the Venezuelan fighter. I was just reading. Everybody is interviewing Elijah Pierce, but I want to interview the person challenging him. That is the main event for this Manny Pacquiao fight coming up. Where did I do with that one? Oh, man. We'll see if I can get an interview with Lorenzo Parra, who will be fighting on that Manny Pacquiao main event coming up at the end of February against Elijah Pierce, man. A very interesting Venezuelan fighter with a record of 23-1 and 1 out of Las Vegas. Vince says we have some exciting news. I'm going to talk to him later tonight, guys, for a daytime show tomorrow that we may be having a special guest, local Las Vegas fighter. You'll have to tune in tomorrow during the day stream to see if it happens. We'll post it at what time. It should be around 1 o'clock. I'm very excited about that, guys. We'll have a fighter. Drew, I appreciate you coming on tonight. I know it's late. You're back in the groove. Appreciate everybody that came out today to listen to us. Drew, any final words?
Nah.
All right, guys, we'll be back on the air tomorrow for a daytime stream around 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We'll see you then. Peace.